Hey, what's up everyone? This is Miguel with Finishing Touch, Scalp Micropigmentation, better known as SMP. I am the owner and founder. We are based out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I've been doing scalp micropigmentation for the past 2.5 years. Being a sufferer of hair loss, I started looking into what I can possibly do to regrow my hair. So I would research and Google, how can I grow my hair back? Things of that nature. Hair transplants, they're so invasive. That was just out of the question for me. There was no way I was gonna go through that. There's the recovery time. It's pretty barbaric the way they cut you from ear to ear. So that was completely out of the question for me. So I came across scalp micropigmentation, which at first I was kind of iffy about it. I didn't know if it was right for me, just because virtually what it is a tattoo. But the more I did my due diligence on it and I researched it, it's actually very, very different. It's very similar to a tattoo, but it's very different. The inks that are used in scalp micropigmentation are different. They're micro nano needles. They're the smallest needle in the world that you can possibly get, so that it can replicate a hair follicle when they're actually putting the pigment into the scalp. You know, you come in, we hold a consultation, we get to work, and you can be done within anywhere between 2 to 4 hours at the most on your first session. It is done in sessions, so you know, you come in, we hold a consultation, and then we start on the first session. The first session is always going to be the longest one. That one's typically anywhere from, like I said, 3 to 4 hours. We want to wait anywhere between a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, just depending on how good your skin takes to the pigment and how well your skin heals. So depending on that, it's going to be when I can get you back. So on the second session, we start to see it a little bit more. You start seeing the density, because we're adding obviously more pigment. The needle size changes, the pigment color changes also. So that's on the second session. On the third session, you come in. That's what I like to call the finishing touch. That's where you're going to see the magic happen. Everything comes to life. Now we're adding that 3D effect, which gives it the realistic look of hair. On the initial process, when you come in, we get done with your session, it's obviously going to be super red. It's going to be red because obviously you're getting poked with nano needles thousands of times. We have to do that to obviously replicate hair follicles. So it's going to be red. I tell a lot of my clients the red would last maybe anywhere, for some guys it's 2 to 3 hours and it's gone. For other guys it might last a day or two. On the first session, it's always going to be the lightest one. I get a lot of guys that kind of freak out and they want to be able to see the procedure done on the first one or be able to see it. So that first session always kind of gets real light, just because the pigment, everything is sparse. We're not doing any kind of density. Therefore, you're not going to be able to see it. Like I tell a lot of my clients, you never want to have your SMP procedure done in one session. If that's the case, then what's happening is you're saturating the scalp with skin. Therefore, it's not going to look realistic. It's going to look like a stamp. It's going to look like a tattoo. So it's always done in session, you guys. You know, on the second session, we want to wait anywhere between a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, just depending on how well your skin is taking to the pigment and how well your healing process is. So just depending on that, like the guys that heal a little bit faster, I can get them in sooner. The guys that take a little bit longer with the healing process, then I want to see them anywhere maybe 2 weeks out max. Then you come in for your second session. The second session is a little bit less time in regards to hours. We can get it done anywhere between an hour and a half to maybe 2 hours. You know, it's the same thing. The process is you don't want to wash your hair for 2 to 3 days. After the 2 to 3 days, you can wash it, but you just want to wash it with water. You don't want to use any soaps, any chemicals, anything like that, and you're good to go. So it's, you know, the same process. We wait another week and a half, 2 weeks the most, then you come in for your third and final session. On your third and final session, that's typically when I get all these guys done. Some clients do require a fourth session, just depending on how far gone the hair loss is. So just depending on that, you might require a fourth session, but typically we can get it done in 3 and then you're good to go. One more thing I want to mention, we also offer financing on all procedures. So you can actually go on our website, or you can just go on my social media, on my Instagram, there's a link in the bio, and then you can kind of start the process on there. And then for the people that are interested in the 3-day training and also the 6-month apprenticeship, that applies to that also. So you guys don't let anything hold you guys back. Let's get your careers on the road, and yeah.